I'm Julie Herman of Jaybird Quilt and Lazy Girl Designs, and welcome back to the Lazy Angle Basic Series. This week we are working on the Hugs and Kisses quilt. The Hugs and Kisses quilt features a one-step block, and what makes it unique is it is strip pieced before we cut the block. So today we're going to talk about fabric selection, sewing our strip sets, and we're going to begin to make our Lazy Angle blocks. So let's get started. I love Hugs and Kisses. I designed this quilt 13 years ago and it's still a classic. Hugs and Kisses features a one-step block but gives it a fun twist by making it a strip-pieced block. The other way that Hugs and Kisses gives things a little bit of a different twist from what we've done so far is that it has right blocks, which we used in Beach Ball, and it also has left blocks. So what that means is it's the same shapes, they were just cut with the fabric wrong side up. So if you look at these with the fabric right side up and wrong side up, then they look the same. I'm going to begin by sewing strip sets and cutting those strip sets into right A's and left A's. And then you're also going to cut right B's and left B's from our background fabrics. So let me show you what that looks like. This project is with 2.5 inch strips. So you may already have 2.5 inch strips pre-cut in the form of a jelly roll or a roll up, or you may cut them from your stash. I picked some fabrics from my stash and then I decided to cut 2 strips from each fabric. I am planning on making the baby size, which needs 24 strips, so I picked 12 fabrics, cut 2 of each. On the back of the pattern, it includes all the size options and tells you exactly how many strips you need. So for the baby, it's 24, lap, it's 54, twin, it's 78, and queen, it's 129. I wanted to give you the exact numbers so that if you were cutting from your stash, you knew exactly how many you needed. So the first step is going to be to either find your fabrics or cut them. And you want to make sure they measure 2.5 inches. If you're working with pre-cut strips that have the pinked edges, they're not always 2.5. So please double check yours, make sure they measure 2.5. If they're over, trim them down. If they're under, you might want to save them for a different project and pick some different fabrics for this. So you head on over to the machine and you sew these with your 1/4 inch, specifically your scant 1/4 inch, because you need to make sure that this measures 6.5. If this is bigger or smaller than 6.5, it's going to create a domino of issues in piecing your quilt. So as best as possible, you really want to make sure this measures 6.5. So go ahead, sew it, measure it. Once you know this is 6.5 and that you have 2 inches for your centerpiece, you know that you're good to go. And you'll sew all of your strip sets, and I suggest pressing your seams open. Then we need to begin cutting. So I'm going to slide these out of the way. And most of the time that we have done cutting with the Jumbo Lazy Angle ruler, we've cut 1 layer at a time. The exception is when we want right and left pieces. So the directions I'm about to cover are on page 4 of your pattern. And you want to make sure that you have your fabrics folded and perfectly on top of each other as best as you can. And it can be kind of hard with the seams. That's why it's definitely helpful to have it pressed open, because if you have it pressed, for instance, to the pink, then you definitely have a lot of bulk that way. And then you want to line these up over here so that you have as little waste as possible. And the first thing we want to do is we want to trim this edge nice and straight. So we're going to take our ruler, and I'm right-handed. If you're left, this will be backwards. We're going to take the bottom of our ruler and align it along this long straight line. And the top of our ruler should line up with our 6.5 here. And then as a double check, the dashed lines here should line up on either side right on your center strip. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and trim. And then we're going to carefully rotate this around while trying to avoid shifting it. And now we're going to take our Jumbo Lazy Angle ruler, and we're going to line up the 6.5 inch line, because the 6.5 is the number for Hugs and Kisses. And if you are using your Sew Tights mat, this is a great opportunity to use your booster magnets to make sure that everything stays exactly where you want. And even with all the layers that we have here, they still do a really good job of holding everything in place. So once I know everything is where I want it to be, double check. Go ahead and cut. And then for our next cut, simply going to slide these out of the way, take my ruler, rotate it around 180 degrees, and line up my 6.5 inch lines again on my piece. And these dashed lines are my double check, and it looks like mine slid a little bit off from itself. Always best to double check and realign things if necessary. Yeah, line that back up. Again, I'm going to use my booster magnets and trim. Now, every one of your cuts is going to yield a right A and a left A. And so technically there's 4 different pieces you'll get from each one because of the strip layout. You'll have one, if your fabrics are like this, that's pink dominant, and one that's orange dominant, and then same for over here. So you have 4 different pieces. Now, based off of the way that the cutting is and listed on page 4, if you have 40-inch fabric strips, or if you have pre-washed, I've only accounted for you to get 6 pieces from each strip set. But it's possible if your fabric is closer to 42 to 44 and you have not pre-washed, you may be able to get 8. So keep this in mind, and you may want to sew 1 or 2 strip sets, cut, and see if you can get 8, because you may need to sew less strip sets. And this might not matter to you if you're sewing the baby quilt, because I think with the baby quilt, we're only sewing 8 sets of strip sets, and you might still need that many anyway. But if you're going to be doing one of the larger bed sizes, this might matter. So go ahead and see what your fabrics will give you. It looks like here I'm going to be able to get 8. And so you can just follow the chart on the bottom of page 4. It tells you the total number of right and left A pieces you need. And so if you're getting 8 from a strip instead of 6, you can just keep that in mind and figure out how many strip sets you need to be making. So there we go. So I'm now going to just take all of my strip sets that I cut and take them over to my machine and sew all of them together, press them open, and cut all of my A pieces. Now that we've cut our strip pieced A pieces, it's time to go ahead and cut our B pieces. And we need right B pieces and left B pieces. And so those are going to also be cut from 2 layers at the same time. So I have my fabric, and it's folded here the way it was on the bolt, and it's wrong sides together. And the first thing I'm going to do is square off the one side. And if you're working with a solid, I still suggest that you cut this in this method, but technically you don't have a right and wrong side. You just need to make sure that when you're at the machine that you are sewing your pieces properly. I'll give you some tips for that. But whether you are working with a solid or a print, you want to cut 2 layers at the same time so that you're getting the correct number of pieces. So we're going to go ahead and turn this around. And the B piece is located on our ruler right here. So we have this solid line, and since we're working with 6.5, that's where we want to be. And again, if you are finding the booster magnets with the Sew Tight system helpful, go ahead and do those. Again, it's not required, it just really helps make the ruler not slip. I have found it very helpful for my own personal cutting. And then to get our next piece, we take the ruler and we flip it like this so that we can no longer read jumbo lazy angle, but you can read the measurements. You can still see the 6.5 right there because there are some numbers that are printed backwards for this reason. And we line up our line here and our solid diagonal line, and we will go ahead again and cut. And as I mentioned, each one of these cuts will give me a right and a left. So very quickly, I will have all the pieces I need. I like to do all my cutting, and then I like to go ahead and stack all of my rights together and all of my lefts together so that I stay nice and organized when I head to the machine. And I do the same thing with my pieces of my A, and I separate them into right and left piles as well, so that I don't mix anything up when I get to the machine. So if that is helpful for you, I suggest that you do that. And it's also helpful sometimes to sew a sample block. So let's head on over to the machine. We're going to sew one right block and one left block just to make sure everything is coming together right. Piecing directions begin on page 5 of your pattern. And first step is very similar to what we did with beach ball, which is we have a right A and a right B, and we put them right sides together and sew our scant 1/4 inch seam. And when lining them up, we want to make sure that we have this little bow tie created down here. And from this raw edge to that valley should be our scant 1/4 inch. And then up here, this is what it's going to look like. And then with our left A and left B, it's just reverse. So we again are going to create a bow tie, but it's going to be up here instead of down here. And that's what our bow tie is going to look like. And then down here, we will have our dog ear, and we'll be creating that valley. So let's head on over to the machine and sew these together. So I'm over here at my machine, and I have my machine set to the same scant 1/4 inch that I used to do my strip sets, so I know that my measurements will be correct. And I'm just going to go ahead and sew my A to my B in the same manner that we did with beach ball and all of the beginnings of our 2-step and 3-step blocks. The only difference here is since we have strip set, we want to make sure we don't flip those seams as we go, so it can help to go nice and slow. And then when we're working on our left block, we are beginning to sew from our smaller side as opposed to our larger side. And I find, especially if you don't have a leader ender, that this can get eaten by your machine real quick. So it's especially important that you have a scrap to sew on first for your left blocks. I'm going to take these 2 off, go ahead, press them, double check, make sure they're good to go before I continue making the rest of my blocks. Now that we have these sewn, it's time to go ahead and press our blocks. And I highly suggest that you press these seams open. It will help everything to lay flat when we continue to sew the blocks together to make our quilt. So the first thing I like to do is flip them over and finger press. And I have talked about this in the sew along, but just in case this is the only project you're following along, we want to make sure that we are pressing and not ironing. So pressing is up and down. Ironing is pushing our iron. And we have bias seams here, so the last thing we want to do is push because we can stretch things out of place. And that would not be good considering how much time we've put into cutting and piecing. So you want to just push down. You can give a little wiggle. I usually do that with no pressure, but you don't want to push. That is ironing, not pressing. And if you need help with getting your seams open, heat resistant stiletto. This end is silicone so that you don't have to get your finger anywhere near the tip of the iron. And you will notice there is water in my iron. I like to press with steam. I generally don't use steam when I am filming because it fogs up the camera, but when I am not recording, I do use steam. It is a personal preference, but if you like steam, I say go for it. So now we have a right block and a left block. And this is the orientation I show them in on page 5. And so there's a chart on page 5 that tells you how many to make. So go ahead and follow the directions based off of the size that you're making to make all of your blocks. And one thing you should double check before you go ahead and make all your blocks is I would take a ruler and make sure that you are measuring 6.5 this way and 6.5 this way. Because if you are not measuring 6.5 one way or the other, something's off, and best to find that out now before you make all of your blocks. Thank you for joining me here today as we made our Lazy Angle blocks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like it, share your comments with us, and subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet signed up for the Sew Along emails, you can do so at the link posted in the caption below. I'll be back here tomorrow to work on turning our Lazy Angle blocks into our Hugs and Kisses blocks so we can make progress on making our quilt. I'll see you soon.